Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal. Bullying continues to be one of the foremost social issues in the United States today. In recent years, states have adopted laws trying to reduce bullying, including Massachusetts. The Commonwealth's 2010 anti-bullying law was hailed as model legislation for the rest of the country, but the problem still exists. Technology has made new forms of bullying possible, and it isn't just limited to children. The Miami Dolphins and the National Football League endured a bullying scandal this past year, and it's still ongoing. It's safe to say that bullying is both a national and a local issue, and I'm joined today by members of Mashpee's Girl Scout Troop 75187 who have started a campaign to end bullying. They will be recognized with the Girl Scouts Silver Award for their efforts. It's the highest honor girls in 6th through 8th grade can receive from Girl Scouts. Joining me this morning are Scouts Katie Beth Clark, Michaela Trzynski, and Fiona Fod-Wagon. Welcome to Sunday Journal. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so first of all, I'm just going to go around the table just so our listeners can put a voice to the name. So, Katie, welcome to Sunday Journal. Thanks for being here.
I'm really happy to be here, too.
Is this your first time on the radio?
Yeah, it is.
It's fun, isn't it? You'll have a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And welcome to you, Michaela, as well. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
First time as well?
Yep.
Are you excited?
Yep.
All right, excellent. And Fiona, welcome to Sunday Journal.
Thank you.
So, you must be awfully proud of this campaign that you're doing. You're campaigning against bullying. First of all, congratulations on doing something like this. This is great. You must be really proud of what you've been able to accomplish.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you were doing this, it's my understanding you were doing this for your Girl Scout Silver Award. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So what's the process that goes into getting that award? It's, as I mentioned in the intro, that the highest award you can receive for your age group, which is grades 6 through 8 in Girl Scouts. What's the process that you had to go through to get this award?
Well, we have to do 50 hours of community service. It has to benefit the community in some way. We must have a make it last component, which is kind of this fancy way of Girl Scouts saying you have to make sure that it continues in the community in some way. We have to also do a journey book, but that's just a little thing on the side.
So how did this start? How did you get the idea for this campaign?
What's crazy about it is that this originally started as a Noah's Ark, and we were going to sing a song about unicorns.
Yeah.
Yes. It's Noah's Ark, song about unicorns leaving, forgetting they're playing around, and they forget that they're supposed to go on the Noah's Ark ship,
And so that's what started this craziness, and then it went further, and we decided to do something more serious. We took a vote between the two, and it ended up most of us wanted to do bullying, and so we're here.
So I never would have guessed that this all would have started with Noah's Ark, but apparently we've moved from that onto bullying. How did that process work? How did you move on from something like that to a really serious and important issue like bullying?
Well, we had two ideas, the unicorns and the bullying, and then all of us took a vote, and most of us wanted to do bullying because it's a more serious issue, and we have to deal with it. We're Girl Scouts. It's our job.
It's more popular, too, as well.
With great power comes great responsibility. Stan Lee, Marvel Comics.
Oh, I'm glad to see that we have a Spider-Man fan here. So I'm curious what went into the campaign. You came up with the idea. You decided we're going to go with bullying to go for this award. What was the process in getting it started, and how did you generate the ideas for the bullying campaign?
We just basically talked a lot. We just got together and started talking about it. We decided that we were going to do some kind of float, and with what we did with our idea for the Noah's Ark thing, and we decided that we were going to do signs with a positive side and a negative sign. That's kind of like stop-go signs, and pamphlets for our Make It Last component.
Now, talk to me a little bit about those signs. I saw you all brought in, you mentioned these stop-go signs. It's the normal sign that you would see any school crossing guard have. So you brought in these signs. You have a positive side and a negative side. I'm just going to go around the table. What does your sign say, Michaela?
Mine says speak for the silent on the positive side and stop bullying on the back, but the negative with Stop Bullying is on all the back.
Fiona, what about you?
Support, report, and defend is my green side, my positive side, and stop bullying as the rest is my negative side.
And Katie, how about yourself?
I have Help Don't Hurt on my positive side, which I do a lot, which is good for me. And then on the other side, we have Stop Bullying. As Fiona said, they're on all of them.
So you have all these activities going on. You're going to be a part of the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Yarmouth, which we'll get to in a second. What else do you have going on with the campaign?
Ask Fiona that, because she's the one who does that.
She's in charge.
Yeah, it's her job.
So you're the leader, Fiona?
No, not. Well, I just made the workshops we'll do to visit the troops and the reach out. And what we did is we would say this little card and pamphlet which says some hints that says stop bullying, what is bullying, some examples of bullying, says a status of who gets bullied, then what to do and don't do, the do's and don'ts, and then what to do if others are bullied. Then after that we do examples as skits, and we had a couple of those. And then after that we make the signs, which was Katie Beth's job. She helped with the decorating and everything. And then after that process is all done, after we have time left, we have all the girls sit down and we do the cup song, which shows unity.
Now, how many members of your troop are working on this? 3 of you are here today, but more members are working on this as well?
Yeah, we have 5 members, the 3 of us, and then we have Caroline Henley and Mega Hearn, but they couldn't make it today.
Sadly.
Yeah, it would have been amazing for all of us just to be here.
Yeah.
Well, it's great to have you here on this Sunday Journal. I'm Matt McCarthy, joined by Mashpee's Girl Scout Troop 75187, joined by Katie Beth Clark, by Michaela Trzynski, and Fiona Fodwagan. They're joining us this morning to talk about the anti-bullying campaign that they have going on. Fiona, you had mentioned the pamphlets that you had produced. One of the questions on there is, what is bullying? How do you define bullying? I mean, bullying can be so much. You think about so many different types of bullying. There's cyberbullying. There's bullying in person. What is bullying? It's kind of a loaded question, but what is it?
So I'm going to have Katie Beth say that.
So I'm just... bullying is when a person or group repeatedly and intentionally tries to harm with words or actions someone who is weaker, for example, in physical or mental ways, or whom they think is weaker. Some examples are the basic ones that you see, the physical ones that mostly everybody knows about, like hitting, pushing, kicking people, tripping them. But there's also other ones online, like spreading rumors, making put-downs, making threats. You can tell lies about people, which is not very fun to do. Gossiping about somebody in a chat room, making rude hand signals, making mean phone calls, sending mean messages, texting or emailing rumors that aren't true often, and posting unflattering or doctored photos of someone without their permission.
Now, you mentioned a lot of examples there that are technological. We live in the internet age. I mean, I don't know if you have smartphones, but a lot of people have smartphones. There's so much technology, and it just creates a different way for people to get bullied. What's it like growing up in an era where it's not just personal? You can be bullied online, you can be bullied via text, you can be bullied in chat rooms, via email, via Facebook, via Twitter. What's it like growing up in that type of era? Because it's something that when I was growing up, I didn't have to deal with that. And when my parents and your parents and our grandparents were growing up, that was a type of bullying that they didn't encounter. What's it like growing up in this type of era? Have you experienced it?
Well, I haven't experienced cyberbullying. I've experienced regular bullying. As for growing up in kind of the cyber age, everyone has like an iPod or an iPad or like an Android or a Nexus or whatever, and that kind of integrates into society. But you kind of, at least me, I'm the oldest, they might not remember this time, it wasn't really a thing. You didn't really go online, and if you went online, you didn't really go to a chat room.
Yeah,
you went to play
it was
some
just
game.
for research.
Yeah, research. I mean, I remember
played the games that they had on there at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've experienced cyberbullying. I've seen it happening on one of these virtual worlds that I like to play a lot. It's called Animal Jam. Quick synopsis is where you play as an animal, and you can get more animals by getting membership. And I've seen people being bullied, and they have a report button, but every time I've tried to get someone banned when they're bullying somebody, it just doesn't really work all that often.
You'd mentioned that you had been bullied. I don't know if you all have been bullied, and you don't have to answer this question if you don't feel comfortable sharing your experiences. But I'm curious if any of you, if you have been bullied, would like to share any of those experiences and what it was like.
Well, I was the one who mentioned it, so I might as well tell. I have been bullied. It's not fun, as the title might entail.
It stinks.
Yeah, it stinks. You kind of feel as well. What people don't realize is that girl bullying is mental. They always think that bullying is just physical and it's straight up, but with girls it's all with mind games. And most of that, what I've experienced, is you being excluded. Like you're not part of the group. Like they've put a mental block between you and them and anyone else that you want to be friends with or anything like that. How I dealt with it was that I kind of just stayed with my family. I tried not to anger them. I tried not to hang out with them. I kind of just stayed with people who were younger than me or older than me, which, though now it might seem like, what, you did that? I mean, it's very convenient because they're right there, and they might be younger than you or they might be older than you, but there's somebody to talk to. And then if you have, like, brothers, sisters in, like, grades older or younger than you, you can hang out with them. It doesn't matter. They're your family. They're supposed to do that.
So you were saying you had a pretty strong support group when you were being bullied. Did your friends support you as well?
Well, I didn't. The problem with that was that I didn't really have friends. That's the thing about bullying. You're really isolated. Also, you have to remember that, like, if you're dealing with bullying right now, remember it's not your life. School is not your life. You will get through this. It's going to be a couple years, or maybe you can just get out of there now.
I think that's great advice. That's Michaela Trzynski. She's a member of the Girl Scout troop from Mashpee, 75187. She's joined here today by Katie Beth Clark and Fiona Fod-Wagon, joining us today on Sunday Journal. They have an anti-bullying campaign going on right now. And you mentioned that you had personal experience with bullying. Have any of you seen people getting bullied? Have you witnessed bullying in school and classes? I think most kids would probably say yes. Have you also experienced the same things?
Oh, yeah.
And I think my experience, it may have been the girl had a bad day, but what happened is it was we were in a classroom and the teacher didn't know when to give the test, and a boy said, "Oh, the test can be given on Wednesday," which was tomorrow. And the girl yelled back at him very strongly, "No, it's got to be on Monday next week." Very rudely. And he started to cry because the teacher started following the girl's directions, not at his. And his was very polite. Hers was very rude and mean.
Now, what do you do when you see something like that? What do you do when you see bullying? How do you react to something like that when you see it at school or on the playground or, as we mentioned earlier, on the internet? How do you react to that?
On the internet, just if there's a report button, report the person who is bullying the victim and just try to help the victim as much as you can. And in real life, just tell somebody. Tell an adult. Tell your parents, tell your teacher, tell your principal, tell your clergy. You can even tell your Girl Scout leader or Boy Scout leader.
Print out that document or that little thing that you see, oh, so-and-so had a bad hair day, and then that keeps going week after week. Print that out. Tell, as Katie Beck said, tell all those people, because that will really help the person.
You have a very cool event coming up. You're going to be at the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Yarmouth coming up on March 8th. You have a float in the parade, is that correct?
Yeah.
How cool is that? Are you excited about that?
Yeah, we're pretty...
So
it's
pumped
amazing.
for this.
So have you made the float by hand? What went into making the float?
Well, we have people to do it.
Yes.
Does that mean parents to help?
Yeah, like Katie Beth's dad works a lot with it, and we also have people who have been really nice and have decided to help us on this and have donated their time, which is really more important than money when you think about it.
So a collaborative effort between you, your parents, the other members of your troop. That's great. You must be very excited about that, and people can see you in that parade. Once again, that's the St. Patrick's Day Parade in Yarmouth on March 8th. How long have you been involved with Girl Scouts?
I've been involved since 4th grade. I'm now in 8th grade, so I've been 4 or 5 years. The rest of these girls have been in Girl Scouts way longer than me, and I've really appreciated it. It's a great experience. So join Girl Scouts no matter what age you are. You'll always find friends. I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, I joined in 4th, and that's probably one of the latest you'll find joining Girl Scout.
Now, I have to ask, where are the cookies? You didn't bring the cookies in.
In my mother's car.
Oh, okay. So now I know where I need to go. Well, you must be so proud of the campaign that you have going on right now, an anti-bullying campaign. You started it so you could get your Girl Scout Silver Award. It's the highest honor that can be received for your age group. Before we go, if you just had one message to send to people, maybe your age, maybe older, maybe younger, about bullying and about what you're doing, what would that be?
Don't care what they say. Your impression of yourself is more important than they will ever think of you, and remember that it's not your life, and so don't be stupid or something and just feel like, oh, I'm so depressed and stuff. But remember, you think about what you're supposed to think about yourself, not think about what other people think about you, if that makes sense.
This is a big, giant message for kids my age. If you're listening right now and you are getting bullied at present and you're just listening in the car and you're just driving somewhere, just tell whoever's in the car with you right now, the driver, the passenger, your little brother next to you. Just tell anybody.
I suggest believe in yourself. Tell an adult, like Michaela and Katie Beth has said, and remember, stand up for yourself and stand up for others. That's important. Stop bullying.
And join Girl Scouts.
Yes.
Well, I think those are both great messages. Thank you so much for coming in. That's all the time we have left today, but thank you again for joining us on Sunday Journal. Katie Beth Clark, Michaela Trzynski, and Fiona Fodwagen from the Mashpee Girl Scout Troop 75187 and your anti-bullying campaign going on. Thanks again for coming in today.
Thank you for having us.
You'll be able to see them at the Yarmouth St. Patrick's Day Parade on March 8th as they continue and they wrap up their anti-bullying campaign. I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.